Tower People's Choice Top 100 Games of All Time. Dice Tower People's Choice Top 100 Games of All Time.
Alright, it's hard to believe that Holly was this little when we first started. These are the two youngest Vassal girls, Violet and Ruby. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we're here to talk about 10 more of your top 10 games. Let's get to it.
Number 40, Robo Rabby.
Alright, you heard that right. This isn't misnumbered. Last week I don't know what happened. I counted them wrong when I put them off. You went and checked the website. The website was correct. So everything is off by one. But anyway, I want to quick talk about Robo Rally, which is your number 40. Robo Rally is a fantastic game of logic and deduction and moving robots around programming. Now, a lot of people just absolutely hate the game that I've seen, but I think most people who hate it have just played it incorrectly. You need to play on a small board, make sure your paths crisscross each other, and really, when you do that, the whole thing's just going to come across as a much better game. Obviously, enough people liked it to make it number 40. Okay, now we're back in the 20s. Let's do it.
Number 29, Super Wars.
Summoner Wars. Well, this is not a surprise, really. Again, I mean, it's only been out a couple years, but it has a huge popularity, and I really think if it gets into even more wider distribution, I think we could see this, someday we'll talk about. We were there when Summoner Wars started, and I'm actually kind of surprised that there's not more rip-offs of this game. It's so simple, it's so fast. You're simply just attacking someone else's army with yours, but the fact that you're going to go through your whole deck, that now they've added a little bit of customization to the deck, it just works really well, and I can see that a lot of people out there like it, and I'm glad for that. 29, Summoner Wars.
Number 28, El Grande.
Some people accuse this list of being the Cult of the New, a game that just came out in the last couple of years, but this game proves that wrong. El Grande, when we talk about area control in a lot of games, but El Grande is the king daddy of area controls. It's fantastic, and it works really well as a game, and I'm glad to see it on all y'all's list. Number 28, El Grande.
Number 27, Citadel.
I was just talking about a new game that came out the other day called Lost Temple, which is Bruno Fiduci's version of Citadels Part 2. And why did he do that? Because Citadels is such a popular game. I mean, there was a while where you saw people playing Citadels everywhere. The whole idea of role selection was not unique to Citadels. And there's always people coming to me, well, Citadels took these ideas from these games. But Citadels took something and made it widespread. And because so many people can play it, because there's a whole fact of trying to guess the roles that other people picked, and you get to switch, that's a neat concept. It's been used in many other games since then. Citadels, though, still is one of the cleanest versions of it, and a lot of people like it. Thus, its place on the list.
Number 26, Dixon.
Dixit, the party game that everybody likes. I don't know that I've met anyone who doesn't like Dixit. I'm sure I'll get emails that there are people, but it certainly is a party game that made its way high up on the list. On your choice list, on the people's choice, there's not a lot of high party games, and that's fine. A lot of you guys are diehard gamers, but Dixit still made it up there. Maybe it's because of the whimsical artwork. Maybe it's because just the idea of trying to get as many people, some people to guess what you're thinking, but not all of them. Maybe because it's a psychological style game. Who knows? But it's a neat party game, and I can, if you haven't played it before, you really need to check it out.
Number 25, Descent.
Descent. Now, I know I like it, and I know there are diehard people who love Descent, but I didn't think there'd be enough of them for it to get on the list, especially at 25. That's great. Fantastic. Very pleased about that. And so, kudos. Now, I don't know if it's for people who are playing with the Road to Legend, or if it's with people who are playing just the base game itself. But for the most part, Descent was the most successful way of taking a role-playing game and putting it into a board game version that I've seen yet. You know, Hero Quest obviously is the grandfather of this sort of thing, but Descent did it in a way that a lot of people enjoy and still play quite a bit today.
Number 24, Dominant Species.
Dominant Species, wow, I am surprised at this one. Not because it's a bad game, I like it, it's on my own top 100. And it just won the Board Game Geek People's Choice Awards. I don't think very highly of those awards. I think they're too spread abroad, but maybe I'm wrong. You guys picked it for here too. Dominant Species, a game that has area control, worker placement, chaos, and yet a lot of strategy, a lot of decision trees where you see effects of what you've done happen much later down the road. So, Dominant Species, a good choice. Do what? Oh, shoot the gun? Okay, ready? Set, go.
Go.
Oh. Ready? Set, go.
Go. Daddy, I pressed the button harder. 23, Hero Escape.
Hero Escape, the game that was sold at Hasbro, the game that I didn't think would do that well when it initially came out, the game I looked at and said, tried it out, was amazed at it. I got a whole wall of Hero Escape over here, but for a game that's now been out of the market for a year or so, it still has a very strong following. A lot of people, customs constantly being made. Whenever I introduce it to people, they're like, wow, this is great, where can I get it? And I'm like, well, you can still buy some of it at stores, you can still find some of the sets, but for the most part, Hero Escape is non-existent to find, but you know, it's still a great game. So if you can pick up a used copy of it, try it out, because look, it made 23.
Number 22, Through the Ages.
If you poll people on their favorite computer games, I feel very certain that Sid Meier's Civilization, at least some of the incarnations of it, especially, watch this, it's 4, 2, 1, 5, and then 3, I guess. But anyway, Sid Meier's Civilization would make it on a lot of the lists. A lot of people like Sid Meier's Civilization. And so Through the Ages, I think, translates it to the system better probably than Sid Meier's Civilization, the board game, does. It does a great job, and a lot of people really like it. It's a very deep game, especially when you play the advanced game, very rewarding. There are parts of it that maybe feel like they could be handled really well by a computer, hence, therefore, it comes from the computer game. But for the most part, certainly one that you should check out if you ever get the chance. It's a longish style game, but has a lot of feedback for its value.
Number 21, Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering, yay! I'm glad this one made the list, and it should have. I mean, it's a game that's really started the collectible card gaming. Deck building, so many things have their roots in Magic the Gathering, and it really gets a lot of short shrift from a lot of people who scoff at it and all the collectible, get your money. And look, yes, there is obviously a danger to collectible games, certainly, but you can play them without the collectible part of them. You can just buy decks and have fun, and they really have improved it. It's a game that just, you've seen great improvements as the years go by. Each set manages to add to it without having too much power creep. In fact, some of the most powerful cards were from the original set, so I'm glad this one made your list. Good job. Well, that's it for this time. We're glad that you guys watched. We're glad that you guys watched the top. We're down to, there's only 20 games left. 20 games. Did you know that? 20 games left. We'll do 10 more of them next week, and then we'll probably split into 5s after that. I hope you enjoyed them. If you like looking at these, you might be interested in my own top 100 or Melody, my daughter's top 100. But until next time, I'm Tom Vasel. What's your name?
Violet.
Violet. And what's your name?
Ruby.
Ruby. Ruby?
Yeah. Dad, I want to turn on the button. Hey, Daddy, look at me. I'm right there.
So where are you?
5, 6, 7. There. Turn the
Up
button.
there.
Uh-huh. Stop.
Thank you, Judy.
No, I'm Ruby.
What?
I'm Ruby.
Judy.
No, the Ruby.
Oh, Ruby.
Daddy, you call Ruby Judy.
Yeah, why did I do that?
Because she doesn't call Ruby, not Judy.
Okay. All right, bye. Say bye.
Bye. Hey, you just go away. Go away.